Alright, we're here again and let's continue with our model and making the borders. So let's make a borders for this thing here. Of course those borders doesn't look super nice at now, but when we finish with them they probably will. For now, let's continue. How to do it? Of course we have to disable those modifiers. No, Control Z. I want to first duplicate it, then disable the modifiers, then I will press tab, and let's see now. We don't have a pretty nice border, but we have something, so we will use it, and then Control click. Here, this is the border. Of course, Control I, X, faces, and it's done. Now we need those things to be more parallel lines, not like this, so I will go and manually just fix it. I don't know how, yeah, they should be pretty thick. Those borders should be thicker than we anticipated, but we will make them anyway. So next, what we'll do after this, we will try to finish at least the bigger glove. We will make the details and everything, and the glove will be finished, so we will know that something is kind of finished, which is fine, because you see we have almost everything now for our character, but it's not finished at all. I mean, there is a lot of work to do before we can call it a done 3D model. And that's work. That work is most of the time a little bit, like I told you, not so incredible, not so... It's a little bit boring, but that's the life, you know. Most of the time, I told you, I'm working and listening to some podcasts, some news, some music even, and just working with empty mind. Just I know what I have to do and I'm doing it. I'm just not thinking too much about anything. I will add solidify modifier, increase it inward. This is a little bit too much probably, but not... Yeah, maybe like this will be fine. Let's show everything. Okay, we need to move it up, obviously. Or just solidify modifier on the other side. Yeah. Probably a little bit one more time. Yeah, like this. For now, it will be like this. If we have to, we may need to shrink it, or so we'll see what we'll do. But for now, it will be like this. Looks fine. It looks like border. A real border. And you see, the border here is creating something like a silhouette. So we need it to be kind of away from the thing itself. So here also, I will just try to make it go a little bit more like this. Pushing it. Okay, here too. And I will go to solidify modifier and disable this rim, because this rim is making it too much on a... It's not good. So instead of rim, I will go ahead and go to tab. And no, I cannot do it. Since I have solidify modifier, I cannot do this. And that's a problem. Here, by the way, we have a problem a little bit. So I'll disable the solidify modifier and also the subdivision modifier. And I will get to this issue here, which is strange. What's going on? I need to press M and merge them at center, because this was pretty strange. Why? Who knows? And now, let's show everything. Looks amazing. Now what I will do is I will apply the solidify modifier. And then I will go tab and select some edges which I want to sharpen. So I will select them with shift. All the edges that I want to be sharpened for now. And then I will sharpen them, but not before I turn on my subdivision modifier. I have to turn it on before I sharpen them, because I have to see what I'm doing. All right, now I'm turning it on, and then Shift E and sharpen. Looks fine. Now it looks much better, I think. Of course, here we have an issue. We don't have enough polygons around this area. That's why we have this issue. So Control R will kind of do this job here too. Control R. And let's see if we have this kind of long polygon somewhere else. Of course, here, Control R will also fix it. And also here, probably, it will be nice. So those longer polygons are not doing us any good. We need them to be shorter. And this probably should be it. Yes. Okay. Now it looks a little bit better. And now we can very easily move it in sculpt mode. Sometimes your zoom in and out will become very, very sensitive. And you can press home to reset it a little bit. Hopefully it will reset. If it doesn't reset, then you are screwed. And you probably have to quit 3D altogether. Which is always a valid option, of course. I will increase this, the thickness, and then I will push this inside the glove itself. I don't want it to stay like on a little bit higher than the glove itself. I want it to be pushed inside the glove. Okay. All right. And this has to be a little bit sharper here. So I will apply the solidify modifier for now. And of course, this is forever. It's not for now. I'm applying it. That's it. I will select those things and I will Shift E to make them a little bit more sharp as an edge. And this also I will sharpen. Shift E. I will try to not sharpen it too much. But at least it has to be a little bit sharpened. Yeah. Oh, oops. Now we go to sculpt mode and continue working on it. Okay. Does it look good? Let me see the glove here. No, it's not like the concept, so I will have to adjust it a little bit. I just didn't look at the concept. Sometimes this happens. I think that I'm doing something, and I'm doing it. And I'm doing it, and suddenly it turns out that it's not like the concept at all. Because I was thinking that I saw something, and it wasn't exactly that. But I told you, these things happen. It's not something that's super problematic, because now I will just fix it. I know now what I have to do, and I will just do it. This has to go almost to the knuckles, which I'm not sure I will go that far. I will stop it around this area, since going too much to the knuckles will probably make it stretch. It will not be super visible, of course, because when a character is animated and it's moving around, those things are not super visible. But still, I think it's better to leave it like here. Sometimes, I don't know, but my camera rotates not around the current object that I'm working on, but around something else, which is completely unacceptable since it has to rotate around the current selection, since that's what I told it in the preferences. Okay, I want at least 3 lines here. So first line here, second line here, and third to be maybe a little bit before, like this. 3 lines to be visible, and then I can just increase like this and smooth just a little bit, and we'll see. Of course, I will add more polygons later. Now, I don't want to add more. Then I will fix this. Make it so it's on this side, and on this side it will be on the same distance, and then I will make the borders of it. All right, now I will select it, and let's go to the lowest subdivision. Okay, it's very interesting because in the lowest subdivision, it's not like the highest. I mean, in the highest, it's moving a little bit, which is annoying a lot. So what I will do is I will go to certain subdivision and then apply this modifier. Ooh, this modifier, interestingly, let's go to object mode and apply it. Now it's okay. Now I will add again multi-resolution, unsubdivide, and now we have those stretched polygons we need. We need them to be stretched because we did it. So now I will go to tab, Control R, and just add one more division here and here. And I don't know if I need it here, but I will add one here. Why not? And one here. So those subdivisions will help me later. Then I will go to sculpt mode and just move it a little bit. And we are ready. Now we can go to the last subdivision, which is this one, and just smooth it. And now it will be okay. Of course, now I will go where? I will show you. No, I will go to the object mode, and then duplicate it and make a border. Yes, but first, before you make border, of course, as I told you, you need to make sure that your model, the thing that you're making border on, is kind of with the right shape. Because you don't want to change the shape too much when you have the border, because you have to change the shape and then you have to change the border, which is, I mean, yeah, it's not very good. It's not looking fine. Okay, I think this is looking relatively nice. Go to object mode, Shift D, right click, then disable this, then go to tab, of course, solo mode, and I will select it with 3, select this, control here, and control here. Then control I, X, faces. Now we have our border. Of course, we need to fix it a little bit. So, yes, I will fix it. Now with G, I will move until everything is kind of the same width. Of course, when we come to this stage of the character, now I have to think about some things, how to do them, some technical stuff. Especially when we go to the weapon at some point, I'll have to look at the weapon, at the concept, and kind of think a little bit, a few minutes probably, just to see what's what and how to do it, how to do each element. And then it will be easier because I will know exactly what to do. So for 2 or 3 minutes, if I spend thinking about how to do it, then it will save me a lot of back and forth, because I will be like, okay, I will have to do cylinder, I will have to clip it, I will have to do this and this and this and this, and I will know how to just approach it. So I will basically save time if I lose a little bit of time in the beginning. That's how you do it. Now, let's add a modifier, which will be solidify modifier, of course, and it will go, let me see. I need this border, so let's go up. No, down. It's going down. Okay, no problem. I can go down. It's fine. And then, of course, I will fix it in sculpting mode with the grab brush. Sometimes it's difficult to grab things which are invisible. I mean, now I don't see it that much, but I have to grab it with the grab brush, which makes it a bit difficult, but it's okay. Be careful when you're making this kind of a stylized character, for example, to not make those borders too thin. Even my border now here is probably a little bit too thin, but I will see. And of course, not only me, but since we have a fresh eye of our lead artist at some point, he will look at it and he will say, increase this border and do this and do this. And I mostly agree with him when he said some things like this. I agree with him because, you see, a fresh eye is always a good eye. Fresh eye is a good, yeah. Because I look at this model for a long time, I'm working on it, and some things I cannot see that well. And he, of course, can. Also, he's a lead artist, so he has to be able to see those kind of things, even with not so fresh eye. I will just smooth those inner parts here also. Here we need a little bit more. Yeah. And with the border, we are sure that we have, with the separate border, I mean, we are sure we have kind of a nice transition and nice borders which are sharp enough and everything. Yes. Okay. Looks glamorous. Let me see how this goes here. Okay, we have this kind of thing, but let's continue on the glove because it's not ready yet. The glove is not ready. I will smooth this border of the glove itself because we have already a separate one, so we don't need the border that we did in the beginning. It was just basically I tried to make it from the mesh itself, but then I decided it will be not good. Yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit more work to make the borders separate, but it's worth it because then your work will be much cleaner. Everything will be much cleaner. And since they are a separate material, it will be much easier to assign a separate color, vertex color to this, and then in Substance Painter to assign a different material, since this will be all part of one low poly. It will be a one mesh at the end. So yeah, be sure to check out the rest of the videos because it will become pretty interesting at some point. No, it will never be interesting. It will be no, it will be interesting, but sometimes it will be pretty boring and pretty repetitive, especially when we start to make the low poly. It will take us maybe 5-6 videos, I'm not sure how much. And I will have to talk about a lot of things. I will talk about probably how I started maybe the 3D, how my love to the 3D started. It was one night I was in my cousin apartment. He was sleeping and I was in the computer, on the computer. But yeah, this story, maybe I will tell it someday. It's a very dramatic, no, it's not dramatic. I just opened 3D Max. He has 3D Max in his computer and I opened it and I made a teddy bear just from spheres because I didn't know how to manipulate polygons. But I noticed and I figured out how to add spheres. So I added spheres and moved them. And only with spheres I made a teddy bear. So this was my first 3D in my whole life. A teddy bear made from spheres. And the ear was maybe 1998, probably around that time. 1998 or 2000, somewhere around this time. Not sure exactly. By the way, here we have a big issue because those things are very much touching here, and I will have to smooth them out so they don't touch, because touching is prohibited. I don't want them to be touching. So yeah, here I will make those things, and yeah, let me think. This should be a little bit thicker, this edge probably here. I'll have to sculpt it a bit. It's not like it will be that easy to make it, but when we do it, it will look like a real glove. And in the concept, this glove has sharp kind of endings on the fingers, because below that he has pretty sharp claws or nails. I'm not sure how it's called when you are a werewolf. By the way, for a werewolf, he has pretty human-like face, especially the nose. But as you can see in the concept, the nose will be black. And probably it will be more werewolf-like when we make it the black. It will look like a dog's nose, which is basically what has to look like. What? Okay. So I'm doing the glove, and I'm doing some things that I don't know what I'm doing. Now, yeah, the glove, difficult. It's pretty thick, and it's very difficult to make it not touch each finger, to not touch the other one. But since we are a 3D artists, and we have to figure this out, because there is no one that can figure this out for us. We have to figure this out because it's our job to make sure that we can retopologize this model and then to bake it, because when you have some objects touching each other, they will bake the normal map or other maps, they will bake into from one object to the other, and this will be a problem. This will definitely be a problem, so we'll have to be careful. And of course I think we can hide geometry and show geometry here, but it's not needed for now. Why here I don't have enough polygons, or I'm not sure what's happening. Hopefully it will all be okay. Okay, here you see this is what we don't want to happen. This kind of wavy surfaces are absolutely no-no, we don't like them. Of course, yeah, you may say, but this is the glove, it could be wavy, and probably not. This is, after all, a stylized character, so everything should be kind of smooth. Waviness and stuff, no. We prefer not to have that. So I will use smooth, I will use move brush or grab brush in this case, just to try to make the waviness go away, hopefully. And of course, we probably will have to add one more subdivision of the glove, because now it's a little bit not so good. So I will subdivide it one more time, 4, and probably it will be the last subdivision, hopefully. We'll see. I can do this. It's alright. Here we can add a little bit more to this edge. It will be more visible probably, and this one here too. Those on the fingers probably will not be that visible, since he will hold this, his weapon, if we can say it weapon. He will hold it with his hand, so the hand will be a fist most of the time. and it will not be that visible. Also, these characters, as you know, probably know, are kind of, we see them from this kind of distance. So we cannot see that much detail, everything in that much detail, which is sometimes good. Because if we can't see the detail, sometimes it's not fun. So I will apply the solidify modifier, I will apply the subdivision modifier, then I will go to multi-resolution, unsubdivide few times, and then subdivide it again. So we'll have the lower and the higher subdivision, and then let's try to make these things in here. It will be difficult, but I will try. So, oops, come on. One line. Okay, one line. Two lines. They will be pretty big. So I will try to do them like this. Like this. Okay, and then I will try... No. No. Let's see. Maybe like this. Yeah, why not? Yes. This will be enough, I think, for this. And here I will make it like that. Okay. This seems fair. And here we should just make it like this and like that. Maybe like this too. No, they have to be parallel, those lines. We cannot make them unparallel or something. They have to be parallel, pretty much like this. And then, of course, we can go to inflate and inflate each square a little bit by itself. As I told you, this is just a step which is not exactly... You don't have to do it, but if you do it, it will probably benefit you for the rest of your life now. But it will, basically. Maybe not for the rest of your life, but it will benefit you definitely, since these are the things that, the small things that are making the difference. It doesn't look super well, but for now it's fine. And also it's a detail, and we have it, so it's fine. Let's add subdivision in here, couple levels, and then make this, and probably we will finish with this for now. And in the next video, hopefully we will be able to start our weapon. Yeah, those details, we see that we can do them, and they are not very difficult to do here in Blender. So I think, yeah, we have to try to make those lines kind of similar distances between them. So for example, this is this distance from the border here. This should be the same distance from it, and this should be the same distance from it, and then one thing here that could be the same distance from the border, but it's not, which is okay. And then we have this, and of course what I will do again with the inflate brush, I will inflate them a little bit so it looks like it's a fabric with some kind of filling in, and it's kind of bulging. Also here in the glove I can inflate it, and that looks relatively fine. Yeah, but by the way, now you see we have detail and it looks pretty nice, so it's good. Let's select this and increase here the viewport levels. Let's go to this one. Yeah, I will do certain things here. Solidify modifier we have. I will apply it. I think it's fine. So go to object mode and apply it, because we cannot apply it in edit mode, obviously. And then I will go to subdivision surface, go to edit mode, and I will select... unfortunately, I will have to select a lot of edges here now. But that's life. We have to select most of the edges, but not select every edge itself. Just most of the edges will be fine. I think this could work, and then I will need to increase the subdivision here and Shift E, move a little bit. Don't make it too sharp. We can always make it sharp as a knife, but we don't want that. Let's make it a little bit sharper probably. Yes, and then increase this to 4. And probably we will leave it like this. And it may be even a little bit too sharp in some edges. My goal is not to be very sharp, as I told you. Yeah, it's a little bit too sharp probably. Yeah, I will go down. Let's press Tab and Shift E and down. Yes, this I think will be better. The idea here, I told you, it's not to make everything super sharp, and no, some things should be sharp, some things not. But nothing, even knives here in the 3D world, especially in the stylized 3D world, shouldn't be super sharp. Everything should have some sharpness, but moderate sharpness. We have to have our soft things. So here in the inner part, I see that this corner is a little bit too soft, so I'll have to sharpen it. Yes, this one in the inner. So in the outer part I like it, but in the inner part I don't like it. It's too soft. I don't know why, since I think I selected it. But now I'll select only it, and I will sharpen it separately. We can of course sharpen some things a little bit more, sharpen some things a little bit less. Now it's looking great. Shift E is sharpening or creasing, we may say. In ZBrush you have automatic creasing, which sometimes works very nice. And also you can manually crease some edges there. Here you have to do it mostly manual, but it's kind of okay. I mean, it doesn't lose too much time. There was a guy in my Udemy channel, in my Udemy courses, that told me that the polygon modeling in Blender is far worse than this in Cinema 4D. I cannot say that that's the true, but in my own experience, when you are not used to something and you're used to something else, you probably will say that. But when you get used to poly modeling like I'm doing now in Blender, probably you won't say that anymore, because it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy if you know the shortcuts, if you know the stuff, and if you have practiced enough. You probably will be pretty well with it. Then most of you are probably that you're watching, because I see always people are commenting in the videos and suggesting some stuff, which is completely okay. I will add one more subdivision here. Yeah, completely fine. Right, I think this will be it. Probably we will just try to make... Yes, let's try here. Solidify modifier, apply. Subdivision, apply. Multi-resolution, unsubdivide few times, and then increase. And then let's try to do this. We have to try for those squares to be almost the same as the other ones that we have done on the top. Yeah, this may be difficult to some people a little bit, but you have to just try to do it. If something doesn't work, you just Control Z and kind of try to do it until it works. That's easy. Yeah, it takes time, I know, but it's not very hard to do. Not particularly super hard. Okay, let's see it like this, and we can try. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying it. And here. Alright, it looks relatively nice. And of course I will go with my inflate brush, and I will inflate each square individually just a little bit, just so we can have this kind of a effect again with some feeling. And you know, so the fabric is stitched, and in the middle it's feeling like this. Looks pretty good, I would say. Now, in the inner part, we see that it's problematic. It should be the same in the inner part, so we have to probably do it again in the inner part. And also we should probably kind of smooth this, but yeah, we'll see. Here for this one, we will not need to do that because it's not gonna be visible, the inner part. But for this, the bottom part, it will be. So we have to probably do it. So what we have to do next? I mean, we have to detail the belt, we have to detail the other glove. It's kind of ready, but we have to do some other stuff. We have to detail the face and the body, but this will be a little bit later, and the hair on the face, because it's just a placeholder for now, but it will probably stay. I will just detail it maybe. And we need to make the weapon, and that's probably almost it. There are not a lot of things that we need to do. Also this thing and this to detail, but it's going well, and this is the 12th video. So let's Control Alt S plus save as 12, and for 12 videos, each one around 35-40 minutes long, I think we have a good thing. Now this high poly is kind of, some people even can work with this one. I mean, work a little bit more, like few hours, like 2 hours more, and retopologize and go. We will spend a little bit more time just to make sure everything is okay. Also, we will apply feedback if there is feedback. Probably there will be, we'll see. And yeah, poly painting or vertex paint in this case we have to do, but it will be at the end. I always poly paint or vertex paint at the end, because now if I poly paint it, we probably will not be able to see the vertex paint, and there will be some issues. At the end I will apply the subdivisions and then vertex paint, and it should be okay. Nice. Okay, see you in the 13th episode.